Hey guys, it's Madison Mary and welcome back to my channel. I was really struggling trying to think of something new that I wanted to film. I didn't really want to do the tag video. I feel like tags and unboxings and hauls are kind of what are mainly on my channel at the moment, and I really want to do something a little bit different. And I have recently started listening to audiobooks. I started them this month. We are in October when I'm filming this. It is the 22nd today, I believe. I decided to start audiobooks because I did not read anything in the entire month of September apart from like school things that I had to read. I picked up a few things, I just really couldn't get into them, and I was just really struggling. A lot of people I found were raving about Sadie, and they were talking about how it was such an amazing audiobook. I especially heard this from Ali over at Hardback Quarter, and so I was like, you know what? I'm an Amazon Prime member, I get a free audiobook, why not just give it a shot? Guys, I fell in freaking love. I am currently listening to my third audiobook. I have just fallen down this audiobook rabbit hole. I listen to it while I walk to and from school. I listen to it while I walk in between classes. Listen to it when I'm cooking. Like, I have just become really obsessed with audiobooks. I loved Sadie so much that as soon as I finished the audiobook, I went ahead and actually purchased the book. So if you guys did not know what Sadie was, this is what it looks like. It is by Courtney Summers, and Sadie follows a girl. Her name was Sadie. She is 19 years old, and this takes place after she has gone missing. We follow two perspectives, one of which is Sadie, and you see all the events that she's gone through in the last couple of months. And then we follow the perspective of West, who is the podcaster, and you are listening to his podcast as he recants these events after Sadie has gone through them. He's like, you know, kind of trailing behind. That's a really bad description, but it's really awesome. So what really gets me for this is the fact that the audiobook was one of the best ways to consume this. I would be interested in reading it. I'm just going to show you guys here. So when you listen to it, the podcast is called The Girls. And just in case you guys are wondering, when you're reading the book, it would kind of set up like this, like an interview kind. But it was so amazing to listen to this instead because it felt like you were listening to a legitimate podcast. Like, I'm sitting there and I'd be walking to and from school and I was just so immersed in this. It is a full cast, which I think gives it so much more depth. Everyone had their own voices, and I just think that really added to it. It's a huge coming of age tale, and you're following Sadie as she tries to find her sister's killer. Her younger sister Maddie was brutally killed, and Sadie knows who the killer is, and so she is going after him. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I think that I probably would have given it maybe 4.5, 4 stars if I hadn't listened to it on audiobook, just because I think that the podcast aspect of it would have been a lot more difficult to consume in this kind of format. The ending for Sadie is left very open to interpretation, and I will admit that when I finished this, I sat there and I was like, why can't you just tell us? Like, don't like leave me here, because I do have my own ideas as to what I like to think happened, and then I have my ideas as to what I really think happened, and I just kind of wish that it was like confirmed what I think. However, I do think that the open ending fit with the book. Like, it made sense for this kind of book for the ending to be open to interpretation, because it's kind of the entire time you're going through this book, you're really becoming enveloped in Sadie's story and what she's going through, and you know, you're hearing her inner monologue constantly. Sadie has a stutter, and that is one thing that I was actually taken aback by when I first started listening to the audiobook, because I did not know that she had a stutter, and in the beginning I was kind of like, wait, what? But you really get used to it, and it makes it a lot more interesting because you hear a lot more of her inner monologue because she's not very comfortable speaking to people because of this stutter. And it was just beautiful, it was gritty, it was intriguing. I don't think I have raved about a book like this in so long. What I thought was really awesome was that there were a lot of side stories. So even though Sadie had this main quest to find this killer, there are these people that she meets along the way, and she kind of gets taken in with them too, and just her relationship with everyone that she meets. You know, these people, they remember her. Like, you know, she makes a huge difference to everyone that she meets, and I was just completely enamored by everything. I loved Sadie. I felt for Sadie. I wanted to be there for Sadie, and she thought the worst of everyone. She thought the worst of the world, but her little sister was like this shining ball of light for her that she cared about, and next thing you know, she's been brutally murdered and Sadie's world just falls apart. And so her life's mission becomes avenging her sister. And Courtney Summers does it in such an amazing, amazing way. So as my first audiobook, I freaking loved it. I thought it was just phenomenal. I don't know how many times I can say how much I love this book. I was initially very skeptical about audiobooks and listening to them. I had tried listening to an audiobook a couple of years ago. It was just something that I really didn't get into. I always found myself getting distracted. I never really got into the story. I'd find my mind wandering elsewhere, and I was just like, it's pointless, you know, I don't get the point. Like, I feel like, I will admit, I was one of those people who thought listening to an audiobook is kind of like cheating. But since listening to them, I have realized that, you know what, it's truly a great way to consume books. Especially, you know, as someone who was in such a pinch with reading physical books and someone who was really struggling to pick one up and get into it, it allowed me a way to get back into reading. And ever since picking up Sadie, I have actually completed 1.5 physical books. So that is pretty good for me since I literally had a book reading dry spell last month. That sounds weird, but whatever. But yeah, ever since I picked up Sadie, I'm currently on my 3rd audiobook of the month, and so I've kind of been consuming one a week. I feel bad that I used to look down on audiobooks. I've come to realize that, you know, it is such an amazing way to kind of read, especially for people who don't have a lot of time, because one of the reasons why I find it hard to pick up physical copies is because I'm so busy in college. And the pretty much only free time I have is walking to and from class and in between classes and when I'm cooking. And you can't really walk to class and read a physical book, and you can probably try and cook and read a physical book, but it's gonna be pretty darn hard, so would rather not. This is an audiobook virgin's opinion on finally reading an audiobook and what I thought of it, because I think it's kind of important to put that out there as someone who initially thought nothing of audiobooks and now loves them and listens to one every day. If you guys enjoyed this video, please click the like button down below. If you'd like to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks a bunch, guys. Bye!